Here we are with FISHY Island. This is a free-for-all map that I've made with 60 players maximum on it, and one of my actually more successful maps. I haven't showcased this before on YouTube. This is the first time. Tried to put a little bit more effort into this one. There's a little bit of like sort of pay to win at the bottom, but not much. We've got a good variety of weapons. I still don't know about stuff like this sword. I might take things like that out. I might make these exotic weapons more like again in the pay to win bracket. You have to use some of the gold you earn. I actually haven't had a chance to really play these, so I don't know, for example, if you stick through multiple rounds, hopefully I'm really hoping your gold accumulates over time. I kind of need to test that, but it's a bit of a pain to test on my own, but I'm hoping that's the case. Otherwise this whole system is going to be ruined, but I'm pretty sure that's what happens. It kind of then will disappear once you leave the server after so long. So if you play for a couple of rounds, it's a 20 kill limit, and then the round resets. The winners at 20 kills, so it's fairly short. You get 10 gold per kill. So some of these here like this, you need 20 kills to get some of these. I'll add more as it goes. So far this has seemingly been quite popular. I've added movement gear, we've got the swords, we've got the hammer, which I actually don't know how to use that, or it's really bugged. I'm hoping it's just the first one, but whatever. And the grapple glove, which is actually really what this map really favors, is the grapple glove. Really quite like it. Got a variety of all different, the SMGs and SMGs, the ARs. The SMGs are over here. I've got a little healing section. These are free. Got some premium stuff over here. Again, I'm not too sure about the ice cream cones. I think they've just come back into the game. Got thermal fish, got some stats boards there, shotguns and SMGs, and again we got some exotic stuff, which again I might put in vending machines. We got some bikes, we got a plane. This is a safe zone. You can't be attacked or do any shooting. Well, in theory, someone might be able to snipe you from down there. Actually, that is a potential option, but you can't return fire up here, so it's just to save it a little bit from OP. But this is a default island that they offer you. I haven't still tried the UEFN, and I will go on to that. You can do a lot more with the UEFN experience. This is just the inbuilt Fortnite creative mode that I've been playing with here, and this is an island that they give you as a default, but I've subtly changed it so the landscape is the same, but the actual buildings and structures, vehicles, everything is all my own idea. This map very much reminded me of a very early sort of Unreal Tournament 2004 style map instantly, and I wanted to try and give that sort of same feel back to it. You could go really quite crazy with the amount of details on here, but I didn't want to for the sake of console players and etc. making this too intensive. I wanted this is why it's a 60 player free-for-all. I didn't want it to be too intensive, and hopefully 60 players isn't too intensive. It should be about the sweet spot for the old gen consoles like PS4 and upwards. But we got a tank, we got the battle bus you can't use, we've got a plane, there's a plane up there, and there's some dirt bikes you can bring down. We got towers. Basically, it's a symmetrical map, or as close as I can get to it. The gas stations either side aren't quite as symmetrical as each other. But the idea here is you can literally use something like this grappling tool, move around as you do. There's some surfboards over on the gas station, and this is kind of the main PvP area I've kind of tried to create, and I've shaped it a little bit to make it a bit more inviting as a PvP area, basically. So you've got a bit of a tower of power going on up here. And then obviously if you choose the movement gear, you can escape out of it. This map's been my most popular one I've done so far, and I appreciate everyone that is checking out and playing it. Hopefully we can get some of these off the floor and into some people's trending pages, into some people's favorites, you know, and get some more regular players. And I suspect something like this might take a few months, if it is good, to get a significant following. I don't think it's quite so easy to get the following you need on these. But this is the first one. And I'm going to go and showcase my other two maps, which I have showcased before on my channel. But what I'm going to note here is that there's basically now a build version of this map. This is designed as a no-build map. But I've duplicated the map for the best of my ability, and I've enabled building. So there is a build mode, and there is a zero build mode for all of the maps I'm going to showcase. So there's 6 maps in total. I'll put links in the description for every one. So I won't showcase the build version of this. We'll just go straight on to the next one. But there is a build version of this map as well, identical to this. So this is Wacky Barn Team Deathmatch. I initially had this as a 50 versus 50, lowered it to 30 versus 30, and now I've put it back up to 50 versus 50. I'm not going to keep it there because I think this map will suit that quantity of players more evenly. This is one of the maps that I will be adjusting probably more going forward. I'm going to want to design another completely different map now. And then I'm going to go and look into UEFN after this sort of experience, because I'm quite comfortable with the editing style, at least of the basics now. I'm very comfortable with the controls and how to do it, so I feel I can make something quite quickly now. This is a map that I kind of didn't want to really turn out like it did, but I've turned it into something that I actually think is still quite fun, or should be quite fun. And again, this has had some players playing it. I did basically make some changes on all of these maps now, that the health does not regen and your shield does not regen. On the zero build versions, you have your overshield that of course does regenerate, but you're going to have to rely on whether it's like the fishy free-for-all. I offer you heals. In this one particularly, I don't offer you heals, but you don't get a health regen. The only one you got is like these slurps. And that seems to have gone down a lot more favorably with players. People have been playing them longer, people have been playing more, and more players are playing it as well with that change. So I think that's a positive change that I've made. You just got the standard 200 health on the build mode, there's no overshield. And you earn materials through getting kills in the build mode as well. I can't find an option to start with resources and not make it infinite, because then you get infinite gold, and I don't really want people to have infinite gold. That kind of defeats the point of that. But anyway, we've got some premium ARs. We've got rifles and pistols and shotguns up top as well. And what I've added today is I've added a staircase going up to the back of the second floor, both sides. And there's another one on the far end as well. I've changed the time of day, so it might be like this. It might be quite dark. It might be quite bright. The lighting, I was a bit concerned on this map. And again, that might be one of the changes going forward I'll really play with, is the lighting on this. But I'm yet to do that. I quite like the mood it sort of gives us now. But I've added these sort of premium weapons in here again. You should, for my best of my ability, get 10 gold per kill. I might need to do a little bit of tweaking on a lot of it, but you get 10 gold per kill. I've tried to make these quite balanced. So these exotics are 160, and then you got 100 for a nice mythic rifle. And then we got some explosives down here if you want to do that. And then I've also added, which they've just added back into the game, which I'm quite surprised. Down here by the ice cream trucks, I've added in a vending machine that sells the ice cream, the mythic ice cream. Someone said this is OP. I don't know if this is better than a slurp. If it is, I might need to increase that like I did before to 20, because you get 2 of them in there, and I think you only get 1 slurp in the base. But this hasn't been as popular as the others. Again, I've made a build version duplicate of this. And again, this one will probably be getting changed subtly going forward, but for the most part, I'm quite happy with it as it stands. I think is my second map that I made. I'm quite happy with this. But again, I think this lends itself better to 50 versus 50. I think there's just enough space in this one, even if it is still a confined area. I'd like to see this full and really give it a go myself. I'd really like that. I think this could be really fun with 100 players in it. I think this could really be good. I'd quite like to see that one day. That would be awesome. If we can get this a full lobby and make this come alive, I think this would be a really nice feel to it. And obviously, I'll try and balance the weapons. A map like this will probably need blue weapons, and the gold weapons are premium, maybe because of the amount of like sort of shooting in the back, shooting in the corner. I don't know. But right now, I just wanted to make it attractive to people to have a go and be the early players of a map if it does succeed. So with that being said, I'll move on to the next one. I've kind of showcased this on the next one a bit. There's been a few subtle changes. Like I did this today. I made this a bit more of a walkway down here and stairs, and just tried to make it a bit more like a deathmatch map, really. You know, you've got a chance to run away behind cover or something. You know, you're not just going to get beamed out in the open. So let's go to Wacky Town. Here we are with Wacky Barn. I've tried to adapt this now more the last few days. I feel this is a lot better than it was initially. I think you've got a little bit more of a sort of a base area that I've created. And again, I might adapt this, but I'm really pleased with how this has come out. And again, like I said, for the previous map, I might change these to blues and the mythics become earnable. But right now, I'd like people to play it. We've got shockwaves, we've got smoke grenades and dynamite over in these machines. That was, I believe, there before. We got the M Garand. I'm annoyed there isn't a gold version of that gun, but whatever. We got some mythics and some exotic weapons over here, and got like the boom bow, which I quite like, and we've got 3 chug jugs now, or splashes, sorry, I don't know why I called them that. And we got some of these as well, and I believe you get 10 currency per elimination. Again, there's a build version of this map now as well, and it should be identical to what I've created here. This isn't too far different from what I showcased before. I think maybe I've added some more cover in. The problem is I've had some issues with the memory and some areas, particularly this middle bit for some reason. So I'm really glad I can do this. This is a bit I really wanted to make, and I thought I initially couldn't because of the memory, but I thankfully did. But for some reason, the ice cream truck I had here, which I've got on some of my other maps, that was taking up. Oh, this is through the floor. That shouldn't be like that. It was taking up a lot of. It was taking up a lot of memory for some reason. So realistically, I had to get rid of that. But some of this is on the borderline of basically the memory peak of the map and what it can handle. I've tried closing off this middle bit just to make it so it's not so engaging with opposite here, that if you could just camp in here and hold this down. So I've put this here just to cover over. I've opened this building up a bit more. I don't know if that lamp should really be there, but whatever it is. Again, I'll need to probably experiment with lighting on this map. I'd like to put some more lights in different areas on this, and maybe a different time of day. At the minute, I've changed it so it's random. Again, there's no health regen, there's no shield regen. There is an overshield on the build, on the non-build version. There's no overshield on the build version, so you have to kind of rely on the splashes, and if not, just get the slurps. But that seems to have been gone down a lot better than my previous having the health and shields regen. I think that was a little bit too OP. Understandable, I suppose. Understandable. I haven't really played some of these, so I've just gone with a similar. Oh, and of course with these, I forgot to mention, if you kill somebody, you get 100 health back, and that doesn't matter if you've got 100 health already. That will give you 100 shield. So, and that's what some popular team deathmatch do. I think it's about 100. Again, I might need to increase that to 150. But obviously, if you do a slick little double kill and you're about to die, that will give you full health back. And I think that's pretty fair. In a game mode like this, it enables you that if someone else is going to, third person is going to come and attack you, you're ready to go again. You don't have to mess around. And this offers, I guess, a better experience from before. So I've copied that off of the popular red versus blue I've made. Again, I think it's 100. I might need to increase it, but I'm going to put all the codes for these, the build versions and the non-build versions, in the description, as I said before. Please check them out if you're willing, and if you've got some friends you want to play these with. I'd really like to get these into the trending pages. And obviously, I expect it's going to take a little while for some of these to kick off. And this one possibly isn't the strongest compared to the others. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll be definitely doing some different maps going forward. This is just the beginning. I don't know if there's a limit to how many I can make on here. I think it said actually I can't delete them, but yeah, whatever. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing or if it isn't a thing. I have no idea. Oh yeah, and I adjusted this bit over here as well, made this a bit more welcoming from this side, and I might have to add some more cover. The church is fine. I've adjusted here so there's a bit more cover, and there's a bit more of a rat run for sort of shotgun wars around here. The building should not destroy the environment. So some people might want that on the build version. Again, that's something I'm going to leave off for now. We'll see how it goes. Currently the build maps are only about less than 24 hours old, so no one's really been playing them, and that's understandable. But I'm hoping with videos like this, you don't like zero build, but you like the build, please, you know what to do. And anyway, if you've watched this video, thank you very much. If you want to see me do more custom creative maps in Fortnite, please leave a like, and thank you for watching.